It's your boy Mello, South Loud, man. I'm here with D-Maub, man.
Yes.
In the building. What's going on?
Yes, excited, man. It's always dope to be amongst the brethren, you know what I'm saying, and to be around people who love God, man. And, you know, you can just feel the spirit of humility on everybody, man. And people just love each other, man, here at Flavor Fest. So it's just a good opportunity, man, to network and fellowship with cats, especially dudes I ain't seen. Like, I got relationships with people all over, and it's good to be able to come to one place and, you know, and see each other again, man. So I love it, man.
For those that don't know, man, D-Maub been rocking for a while, man. You know, any artist you know right now, he's pretty much the collab with all of them, man. What keeps that drop going, man? Because you be going in, just when you was on the Will Wish and stuff, they knew that.
Yeah.
You know, what keep that under, just to keep dropping so hard like you do?
Man, honestly, I think the opportunity, right? And what I mean is, when somebody calls me to do a show, when somebody calls me to collab, I'm the one that's thankful for the opportunity. You see what I'm saying? To display what I've worked on for so long. I mean, it's almost like if a kid go to school for 10 years to be a doctor and nobody offers him a job, it'll be like, goodness, all of this time is wasted. All of this time I try to perfect my craft is wasted. So when he finally gets a job, he's the one that's thankful. You see what I'm saying? Now, he don't feel like they owe you. It's plenty of doctors. There's plenty of people with degrees. We selected you because of whatever reason. And so the guy who doesn't have the job should feel honored, right? And that's how it is with me, honestly. Like when somebody calls me, yo, we want you to do a show here, I'm honored. My mom told me before she passed away, she said, be thankful for what people do for you because nobody owes you anything. And so that stuck with me, man, for the rest of my life. And not only, you know, just in every day, right, doing favors for me, but it bled over to my music and how I looked at opportunities to minister the word of God, man. I mean, here we are, imperfect people representing a perfect being. I mean, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's humbling. So I take my opportunities serious as if it's my last time.
Your mom played a big part. Was it an early passing or late passing?
Well, she was. I was like 18 when she passed away, and she was 49. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she had me when she was 31, man, and she didn't live a very long time in my life. You know, so when she passed away, that's when I actually got saved. My aunt, who was in the church, she knew my mom was sick to the point of death. I didn't know that she was sick that she was dying from cancer. I didn't know. But my aunt kind of took her under her wing and started taking her to church and stuff like that. So my mom gave her life to the Lord right before she passed. So I started going to church and started learning about God. And when she passed, I gave my life to the Lord. I started doing music, but I always remember what she told me. You know, nobody owes you anything. You know, you take advantage of it and you be thankful for what people do.
The good movement you got. Tell us about that so they don't get twisted with good music.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, you know, I always wanted to start a clothing line, and but I never could come up with a clothing line, a name that was marketable, and that, you know, that could relate to everybody. Those are the two things that I needed to get. It's marketable and everybody can relate to it, right? Without it being corny. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, my nephew, to make a long story short, man, he was 17 years old. He was riding with a guy who jumped out the car, robbed somebody. Dude jumped back in the car, pulled off. And my nephew, who hadn't had a jaywalking ticket, right, did 5 years because he was with somebody who robbed somebody. Now, my nephew stayed in the car, but he was with him, right? And so I was just like, gosh, it's so important to keep good people around you. And so good company, you know, came to mind because of this story. And so it birthed from there, you know, and I was like, man, now how do I spell this thing, right? And so, you know, G-O, the second O is in parentheses, meaning it's applicable or non-applicable. And so it says good and God at the same time. And so our motto is keep good company and keep God company. And that's the only reason why we're here today, is because we did those two things. We got around some good people who pushed us, encouraged us, and we kept God company. So yeah.
That's a positive outlook. But for the kids that, you know, similar people that been done wrong and that question things like, why? You did the opposite. You know, some people that haven't been saved, they'll be like, man, why you took my mom? Or why this happened to my cousin? Like, what made you do the total opposite and got closer to God instead of draw away from Him?
Well, for one, I didn't have a relationship with God. I never went to church.
Yeah.
And so before she passed away, we started going to church, right? I mean, like maybe a year, a month before she passed away, we started going to church with her and my aunt. And I just remember the preacher saying that, you know, when we die, we get to see our loved ones again, right? And so when she passed away, I remember him saying that. And so I'm like, yo, I got to see my mom again, period. What do I have to do to see my mom again? And it was to give my life to the Lord, and, you know, so I can go to heaven where she was at. And so when I got saved, it wasn't even for Jesus. It was to see my mom again. I was just like, okay, I surrender. Let me try to live this life because I have to see my mom again. But after about 2 years, that was in 98, 99. And so at about the year 2000, he really grabbed my heart, and it wasn't about my mom anymore. It was really about Jesus, you know, so he used that, you know what I'm saying, to have me realize that life was real, and that if my mom could die, I could die. You know, you don't think about death until somebody close to you dies. You're like, oh, okay, wow, like I can go at any time. If they went, I could go, you know, and so it got me thinking, and I started going to church and just hearing the Word of God, started getting an understanding of who Jesus was, what He did for me, and I started to cultivate a relationship with Him, and it grew from there.
Look out for me, man.
The upcoming collabo album you got going on, man. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah. Me and K-Drama, man. We can't disclose the name of the album as of right now because it's really early. We're one song in. And yeah, man, I'm excited about this album, man. I think it's something that the fans have wanted for a long time. We've played around long enough, and so we're gonna continue to work on the album, man, and put this mug out. So we're excited about it, man.
Definitely, man. For the ones that don't know you, man, that's totally blind to old Christian. Man, can you bless them with a couple of bars?
Yeah.
Line, anything, man, just to let them know who D-Maub is, man.
Yeah.
So that it's not, because everybody look at Christian rap and think it's just so soft and watered down, man. And you bring it hard, man.
And let me shout out my bro Eric Cross, man. He's actually dropping a project this year, actually this month. So hit up OneRouteEntertainment.com. Everything's spelled out, man. And shout out to my bro Eric Cross, man.
No one's running my team.
So I kick this one joint. It says D-Maub on my grizzly, I don't sleep a lot. People think I'm homeless cause I'm out there on the streets a lot. I'm on my feet a lot, patrolling where cutties carry heat a lot. Duck and dodge, hoping they don't see the cops. Crabs in my city make it hard to see the top, but I rise anyway cause I know they want me to stop. People witness everything and act like they don't see a lot. All about their paper trying to find them a tree to chop. Man, that's why my life can't teeter-tot, cause I want the Father to select me to go feed the flock. Praying that they feel the message and in turn free to block. Tell them what they selling is counterfeit. Jesus, He the rock. That's why the bread of life I eat a lot. Trying to get the world like me to Christ is like key to lock. Hey, I'm focused when the heat is hot. Of His blood like a DJ, homie. I just need a drop.
Appreciate it.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
D-Maub definitely blessed us from Sap, man. It's mellow, man. We got D-Maub, man.
Yes, sir.
Sap Live, we out here.
This is the #1 Young Cuddy D-Maub, and you checking out Sap Live. Keep it locked. Yes, sir.